Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. Just kidding. Thanks for stopping by. I'd like to preface this video by saying it is not a knitting tutorial, but it means to have something playing in the background while you work on your own knitting project. If you're like me and really enjoy watching videos while you work, sometimes you find that the content you like is very visually engaging and you're several hours into your own knitting project and haven't gotten nearly as far along as you would have liked to. So that's where I come in. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. We are continuing with the celebration of 1 year of me uploading to this platform. And it has been a whirlwind of a moment. Part 1 consisted of me reacting to a very small snippet of my very first upload, which was part of the Knit Ahead for the Holidays playlist. So if you're not familiar with that playlist, last year I worked on several projects to try to get them all done to give to friends and family during the holidays. So if you're interested in that, I do suggest that you check out that playlist. There's a lot going on over there. There's a paw sticking out under the door. And so that was my first video, one of those episodes. And so we took a moment to look at that. And so this is part 2 of my 1 year anniversary that I go into a new project. Now, if you are new here, a couple videos ago I had a DIY moment where I tried to revise a pattern that I liked to make a larger version of it, and it is the magic number blanket that is available on Ravelry. So if you are interested, in the description box there is a link to that pattern. However, I spent a little bit of time in my sporadic energy and tried to get it to the size that I needed by doing some makeshift proportion math, some good old fractions of blah over blah equals n over blah, and solved for n to find out what the difference is for this larger scale pattern I was doing. And we'll see if my fuzzy math is going to work. Whew. So we'll begin. Well, I take that back. Before we begin, I'll let you know that I am using a worsted weight. I'm using Caron 1 pound, and if you are interested in making it up to scale, I have grabbed my size US 9 40-inch circulars, or 5.5 millimeter if you're not US long cord here. These are my Knitter's Pride Zing needles, metal. They're my favorite. I don't have a lot of different metal needles, but I have these Chiaogus that I'm using for a different project, but I brought them out because I have like this tackle box full of needles and embroidery thread and beads and other knickknacks that I use when I'm knitting that aren't actual notions. Like, you needed to know all of that, but I pulled them out because I needed them, so I thought I'd show you that I do have a different type of needle point than the Zings. But to give you an overview, I have this 1 pound, I have this 1 pound, and my third color, because this is a 3-color pattern, is this 1 pound. And so I'm actually going to start with this one because it's not my favoritist. It's not my most favorite color of the 3 for this blanket, so I thought I would work from meh to the more enjoyable color. Actually, the end color is going to be this gray one because I want my main focus to be this pretty tealy blue, because if you're not new, I love these colors, these teals, these rich bluey jewel toned, like ocean blue is just where it's at. Love blue. Even my shirt's blue. It actually says Yarn Addict. I got it on Etsy, so the shop is below if you're interested. They have, I'm not being sponsored or anything, but I've seen them on Instagram and liked a bunch of their photos. I have another shirt from them that says Yarny, but it's Barbie, and the Barb part is crossed out, so it's Yarny instead of Barbie. And it's so cute. So I got this one and I got that one, and they have like a bunch of other knitting and crochet type shirts and some tote bags and stuff. And if you know little kids who game, or grown-ups I guess who game, they have some gaming shirts and some other really cool fun saying shirts. And they're of course, since they're Etsy, they are a US based company, female owned, and I thought I would just give them a shout out. So if you want to support and you like to wear funny sayings on your shirt, it's a really comfy tee. Check them out. Of course, they have a bunch of different, well, depending on what saying you get, you can choose what colors you have. Like the Yarny one, they have a pink and a black color. So it's not like you could do a blue that says Yarny. But I think they do have custom orders too. So if you did want to go with another shirt, I'm sure you could just send them a message and ask them what their rate would be to change the color of the shirt or something like that. But I will say that I am happy with my purchases, the two, and I am tempted to get their tote bag later on down the line, maybe in the summertime or something, because I thought it would be so cute to have it for the yarn crawl this year. But considering the situation, if there isn't a yarn crawl, though it's a couple months away anyway, I don't know if they're still going to do it, but if they did it, it'd be cute to have that tote bag, so then when I go to the yarn shops, I could stuff all the cool stuff in my yarn tote bag. But alright, moving on. So the official pattern, I think I wrote everything down the way the first pattern goes, so I might not need to look at this. Okay, no, yeah, I wrote the whole thing out again, so we'll just go through my pattern. Now, we have the outside already started, but I don't like doing it like that. I like pulling from the inside. But I think even the very first Karen 1 pound, I think I have it pulling from the outside too. So I guess I'll just keep doing that. Since it's already started for me, I shouldn't make it too complicated, right? So I will ask you, how are you doing? Are you so happy that we've made it to a whole year? I surely am. I honestly wasn't too sure what was going to happen with this channel, you know, how it would grow. Oh, and I will say that I had a dislike on my very first video. I don't know where it came from, but in that video I did stop and I'm like, wait, I noticed they have a thumbs down on here. Was pretty surprised. I'm not hurt by it, because I know that everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But I personally don't thumbs down things, because I only thumbs up things. Particularly if I don't like a video, I'll just click out of it and I'll leave it at that. But meh, I don't know. That's just me. Let me know in the comments. If you're still tuned in to this point, do you thumbs down videos you don't care for or don't particularly enjoy? Or do you thumbs up videos you like? Or do you do neither? Does it depend on what it is? Let me know. I'm curious to find out what other people's habits are when they're watching videos online. But yes, I never thumbs down. Personally. So surprise. It's like, who would thumbs down? But they didn't leave a comment. So I would think if you thumbs down, maybe... I know, but to tell you, any kind of engagement is engagement. So even if you don't like the video and you want it taken down, let's say nothing happened illegal to it, but you're like, man, this content creator is the worst. I hate this video. If you thumbs it down, you're still like providing reaction, and then that boosts its likelihood of being viewed. So the more thumbs downs or more thumbs ups, it's still going to get viewed. So it kind of defeats the purpose of you doing that. If it's the point where you're like, you really don't want anyone else to see this because it's like the most awful thing ever. But, so it's kind of like bad publicity is good publicity in that sense. So I'm not mad at it. I'm just like, I wonder why they didn't like it. Where they didn't like it so much that they had to put in the effort to thumbs it down. It's like, interesting. Alright, so. Oh, here. I still need to keep doing this. Alright, I didn't even finish my cast on. I'm already like, how am I going to do row 1? And then I looked up and it told me, you still need to cast on 3 stitches, lady. What are you doing? Alright, let's get this going. Ooh. And so since it's a 1 year, let me try to stay on topic, guys. I know I'm always all over the place, but I'm gonna put in a college try and try to stay themed on the 1 year anniversary celebration of my video, and we'll see how it goes. So first off, it's been a year. What's different? What's new? I'm still in the same place. I have discovered that I have been knitting for 2 years. I have completely lost track of time, and the part 1 of this kind of 2-part series, I mentioned that as well, that time has flown by and I didn't even realize I had been knitting that long. So 2 years knitting. I think in a video earlier this year I thought I was only knitting for 1 year, and I had just, everything's a blur for the most part. Which reminds me, I need to buy some wine. I have to put in an order to get some food delivered this week. I'm filming this in the past, by the way. So I'm off this week, and I thought it'd be a good time to film because I painted my nails and I have some other videos and I don't want them to be chipped when I work with you guys next. Okay, I messed up. When I was pulling out that yarn, I accidentally ripped out my stitches, so I'm just gonna do them again. But yeah, so still in the same place, still have the same job, still have 2 kitties. I'm still working on knitting, of course. Still slow at that. Haven't ventured too far out of my knitting techniques. In one pattern, I was holding the yarn with my left hand, like, can I show you guys? Like, kind of like this, and I would knit and pull the yarn this way instead of holding it like I always do in throwing. So I tried that, didn't feel good. I have to do it a lot more to get better at it. But I'm fine with throwing, but I thought maybe I'd be faster if I held it in my left hand and just like scooped the yarn into the needle. I got a light since my last one. I was using a lamp from my bedroom, just like a desk lamp, and I had my phone with duct tape stacked on a bunch of shoe boxes. Like, that was my setup when I very first started. So, you know, it's fine. It does what it needs to do. I've watched several YouTubers who have said that, you know, when you're starting out, you don't need top of the line stuff. You just need to be consistent and have good quality content. And I'm like, amen. I think I can manage that, and I did. At least for me. I'm pretty good. I feel pretty good about what I've done since starting the channel. And here, row 2. But yeah, so I did get a new camera. Eventually. And my light and a tripod. That was better. I got a tripod and then I got a better tripod. So I use my other one actually when I do my pattern reviews, because it has a cell phone clamp and I can angle it down so that you guys can see what I'm doing. So I like that. And we're on row 3. But you know what? I think I haven't formally explained where my name, Paws and Pearls, comes from. It's kind of interesting, I guess, because what started out was I was thinking of a name, and I think I was going to call myself Knittin' Kitten, because I like cats and I like knitting. But then I did like a name search, and I think there's somebody else who already has that name the same way I was going to spell it, so I was like, darn. And then I thought paws, like it is spelled, and pearls, like knitting pearls, and I asked my partner, what do you think? Like pearls like knitting pearls and paws, or pearls like ocean pearls, or wisdom pearls and paws like cat paws? And they said, you should do it like wisdom pearls and paws, because then I was thinking paws like you temporarily put a hold on something, and pearls like knitting. But the play on words is paws like, oh no, gosh darn. All right, hold on a second. I'm sitting so comfortably, and now I have to, oh, I hate it when that happens. All right, so paws like cat paws, and pearls like pearls of wisdom. So it is kind of still that play on words. Even though I don't have any wisdom, it is me sharing some pearls of information with you. And if you say it like paws and pearls, pearls could be pearls like knitting, or pearls like pearls of wisdom. So until you actually see it spelled out, do you see where the paws is and the pearls? But it is paws and pearls, because cats and wisdom coming together to create a low-key video for you. And that is where my name came from. Now we have done our row 3. We dropped our pattern. We can continue with our row 4. Cool. All right. So actually row 4 is like the part where nothing exciting happens for a long time. So I could do that. But I need to wait. I have to do it for 328 stitches. So we will go here. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so yes, it's gonna be a long time where I'm doing this part, because it's all just one color. And you're just increasing one each time. So you get a little wider, a little wider, a little wider. So yeah, for the most part, it has been a journey for me, and maybe for you if you've been watching for a while. I wasn't too sure how this channel would grow, how fast it would grow, how often I would upload, what I would upload besides the holiday. I mean, I honestly started because of the holiday series, and then after that I was like, what else can I do, you know? That's one thing about being a content creator, or just having a channel in general. You kind of want to think about, like, what do you want it to be? And I definitely want to be consistent. I think that's my main goal, is just being consistent. Now, I know I don't have 100,000 people watching me, and that might not ever happen because I might not be everyone's cup of tea, and that's just kind of how it goes. The platform is saturated, and everybody has their own tastes, and I'm completely fine with that. So it's more like for me to grow and for me to stay on top of my hobbies and just making sure that I am staying consistent. And that is something I think I can do. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad this pattern's like kind of easy. As long as I get to my knit 3, then I do one thing and then I keep knitting across. So it's going to take me a long time because I have a really long span before I can start to incorporate another color. And it's going to be so crazy to think like how long this is going to be at its widest point when I do incorporate my blue color. But it'll be so nice. But I am glad that I am knitting with you guys. So glad that I learned how to knit, because for the longest time I really wanted to. It looked cool. I always thought about it when I was younger, but I didn't have anyone to teach me, and just wasn't anything that really seemed feasible in my life. But as I've gotten older, I'm like, I can start new hobbies now. Like, who's to stop me? And finally, because I had already been on Joanne's mailing list because I paint originally and do other crafts, and I was like, I keep getting these coupons, might as well just go on and get some knitting stuff and start it and see how I feel about it. So I did that, and as I mentioned in my video, or my very first video, I found some YouTube videos and used them as my teacher and got started and haven't looked back. And I feel like now, considering the current global situation, there's no time like the present to have something to keep you busy while you have to be inside. Some people are really, they're kind of like movers and shakers and don't like being inside right now. But I think if you have a fun hobby that you can do, then it makes it so much more fun to be inside. But this is a whole new ball of yarn. How do I already have cat hair on it? The heck? Ugh. Anyway, yes. I've always been an inside girl. Just a house cat. There's literally pictures of me as a little kid just in a box because I liked small spaces. I would sit in this basket down at my aunt, my uncle's front door landing, and I would just like contort myself into this basket, and I'd just be happy sitting in there. So strange. But that is me, the odd one. But yes, I love that I have been able to keep up with this craft. So funny. I had a happy hour with some friends on Google Hangouts a couple weeks ago, and my one friend is like really into astrology, and she's like, oh yes, because we were just saying like, oh, what have you been doing to stay busy? Or not even that you have to be busy. I mean, you can just sit on your couch all day if you want to right now, because, you know, that's what you want to do, and that's totally fine. But I was like, well, have you done anything new, anything different? And I was like, I've just been, you know, knitting still. And she's like, oh, that's such a Virgo thing for you to do. And then our other friend was like, Virgo thing? Like, what are you talking about? And she's like, oh, you know, very detail oriented. And I was just like, I didn't correct her, but I was just like, oh, are you sure about that? Because if you watched what I've been doing on my videos and how candid I've been about like messing up and then refusing to fix what I did, but just kind of like going with the flow, like, oh no, dropped a stitch, guess I'll just pick it up, and even though it looks like a knit and it's supposed to be a purl, whatever. Like the fact that I haven't been that much of a perfectionist, even though I am, like, I have like this weird tendency where I am a perfectionist, but I'm not. Like, I won't do something because I don't want to mess it up. And so essentially it's like I'm lazy, but it's like, if it doesn't look right, then I don't want to do it. But then at the same time, I do have like this lazy tendency where if I mess it up, then I don't want to be too discouraged and like redo it. So it's kind of weird. But yeah, I did not correct her. I did not say, actually, I am horrible at doing things the right way because I just don't have the patience and I won't fix it if I mess it up. But didn't tell her that. I was just like, oh yeah. So there's that. So if you're wondering what I'm doing right now, I'm literally just knitting 3, KFBing, and knitting across, and that makes my 1 decrease each time. And it probably will be, let me see, let me turn it real quick. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna knit a few more, but I can see there's like this little teeny triangle right here, and then the 3 that I'm knitting are making this border, and you can see the edge is like a nice little rounded corner because we started out with 3 stitches and then we built on those, so you have like this soft corner, which I love. But I think what I really like most about this pattern is just that little border, that it already has that border made into it with that knit 3 and your KFBing, and then you keep knitting, so that KFB increase is like creating this ridge, and I love that so much. I'm going to attempt to show you it. Can you see it? See the little V right here? So that's pretty much the pattern going out. You have your border slowly cascading around the side of the blanket, and then you have your plain garter stitch in the middle. You have your stripes up until you get to the next color block section, and that's pretty much what the pattern consists of. And of course, in the Ravelry link, you can see what it looks like up close, because my little printout is not going to do it justice. And I think there might be some, I can't remember for certain if there are other pictures of other people's project of this pattern on the Ravelry site, but you kind of get the idea of it. But it's such a lovely, simple pattern, and I love it because you're just increasing. You reach your widest point, and then you decrease. But it's going to take me a long time before I get to the widest point. Because this is a larger scale than the baby blanket size that it was made out to be. But with that, we've concluded part 2 of the 1-year celebration of my channel, and I couldn't be more thankful that you're here with me today. You're celebrating this milestone with me, and I hope we have many more years together, and we'll just see what happens, how this channel takes shape. But I think a whole year of consistently uploading is pretty good. Some people stop when they don't get the success that they want, but I'm keeping it really simple where I'm holding myself accountable and providing that background noise for you. So where can we go wrong? I'm here when you need me, and I hope that it's been a fun run for you as well. So I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.